Hi, I'm Sam, and this is Sam Says. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Tiny Epic Quest. Tiny Epic Quest is a 1 to 4 player game from Gameland Games designed by Scott Almes and is the latest in the Tiny Epic series. In Tiny Epic Quest, you're going to be competing against other players to be able to complete quests, kill goblins, learn new spells, and gain legendary items. The way you do that in Tiny Epic Quest is in two different phases. The first phase of each round, and you are playing over 5 rounds, is the day phase. During the day phase, you have these 5 different movement cards, and on your turn, you'll select one of the movement cards and choose one of the meeples on the board to be able to move in that particular way. This one is by raft, so I'd be able to move up or down a river with one of my people. And then we go around and everyone goes. The next person in line then chooses their movement card, and everybody can follow that movement as well. Basically, during the day phase, you're trying to set up what you want to accomplish during the night phase. In the night phase, you are going to be rolling these beautiful marble dice and pushing your luck. You are going to be pushing your luck, trying to complete temples, to earn quests, and gain legendary items. You are going to be pushing your luck to learn new spells, and trying to kill goblins. These dice all have 6 different symbols on them. You have goblins, which will damage you and are very bad. You have energy, which will give you energy to be able to advance further on temple tracks, but also block goblin damage, which is awesome. These purple symbols, which will advance the spell track. And then you have these green punchies. That's how you beat goblins up. And then you have the flames and the temples, and the scrolls. Those both go to helping you complete temples. Now, the cool thing about this push your luck mechanic is, let's say I rolled 3 of those red goblins, those bad things. So I am not going to be taking 3 damage. Oh, no, I'm too good for that. Kidding. I will take the first damage, and then Jack to my left is going to take the second damage, and then Mary across from me is going to be taking the third. So you are being affected on everybody else's turns if they roll multiple symbols. But also the same goes for energy. So energy is the next die that's resolved, and it helps me gain energy. But if I rolled 2 of them, I would only gain the first, and then the person to my left would gain the second. The spell track moves the spell track up, and then everybody at the table, regardless of where you're sitting, will be able to use the goblin punches to attack the goblins they're fighting, and then the scrolls and the fire to be able to advance on their own temple tracks. This game does a very good job of keeping you involved on other people's turns, because you're always watching, okay, what are you going to roll? I need you to roll 2 scrolls. I'm going to need you to roll 2 scrolls. And so you're always looking and seeing what other people are doing. That's one thing that I found that Scott Almes does a great job with a very large majority of his games, is he keeps you involved in other people's turns, which for me in a game is huge. I love keeping everybody involved during the entire game. If I'm playing a game and then I look over and someone's sitting on their phone, that really ticks me off. I want you to be involved during the whole game, and Scott Almes designs his game specifically so that you are engaged for the whole time, which I think really increases your pleasure while playing the game. If you're always engaged, that it makes the games go by quickly, and I think increases your enjoyment. So this game does a very good job of that. So on your turn, during the night phase, you choose either to roll the dice or to rest. Now, if you rest, you get to really complete any temples that you've reached the last space of. You get to make sure that you've gotten far enough on the spell track that you complete the spell that you want to do, and all of your people come back and everybody's happy. Or you can roll the dice and press your luck. Now, the danger to that is, like I said, you're involved in everybody else's turns. So if you could die on someone else's turn. So if you only have 2 health and you're about to go through and everybody's still in, that's really dangerous. And you have to make that choice. I love the choices that it makes you make. It makes it really, really fun. Something I want to mention here, the art. This game pops. This is the type of game that is so vibrant that if you were walking by at a game night and you saw some people sitting down playing this game, you'd immediately gravitate towards it. You say, whoa, what are you playing? Because the art on it is so good looking And I will say the graphic design on this game is top notch. So all of these tiles will have some similarities. So they all have a river going vertically, but they also have a road going horizontally. That plays not only into like the art, making it look cool on the board, that there's some continuity there, but it also worked with the game. So when you're moving up here, I told you could move by raft. You move up or down on the water. You could move by horse, which is across on the road. So cool what it does with that. And it just looks so visually appealing. It's incredible. The one big thing that I have not mentioned yet, that is probably the big thing that most people will talk about in this game, are these. These are items. These are item meeples. When you gain items, whether by completing temples or by gaining them through doing other things, you get to place the items right on your meeple. So if your meeple gets a special ability, like this sword allows you to, I think, kill goblins easier, you know, hey, this is my goblin killer. You know, the shovel allows you, I think, to gain energy when you move. And so you know when this guy moves, he's going to be gaining energy. So if I'm going to be moving somebody around a lot, I'm probably going to choose that guy. But it's really, really cool. They're Tiny Epic Defenders 2nd edition with the expansion just finished up, and they're expanding their Item Meeples universe to adding like packs and stuff that you can put on. It's pretty sweet. But you've got all of these different items that you can put on your meeples. How someone has not come up with this before, I don't know, because it is such a cool idea and so useful in so many games. Gameland has really done a good job with these meeples. They look incredible and they work really well. I'm just a big fan of the game. It blows me away. The last thing that I wanted to talk about before I close is solo mode. If you watch any of my reviews, you know that I am a solo game player, so I like to try it out. I will say, in most Euro games, the solo modes that they offer are you play out the full game just by yourself, not much changes, and you're just trying to build the best engine that you can and score a bunch of points. And they say, hey, if you reach this point total, huzzah, you're this level. That doesn't really do it for me. I really like a challenge. I really like to know that I won. I like there to be a winning condition. I don't want it to just be a point total. This game, I read the solo rules, and it is that. So you are looking for point total. So I didn't have a lot of faith going into it, but I knew I wanted to do a review. And I've enjoyed all of the solo modes in Gameland in the Tiny Epic games so far, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I am very glad that I did. Surprisingly, this solo mode works really well. And I think for me, the big portion of it is it keeps the excitement going when you're pushing your luck. Because I could lay my plans really well, but part of it forces me to adapt to what's going on in the game board, but also whether I want to continue or not. When do I cut my losses? How do I do that? But also with the movement, you've got all of these cards. Instead of having all of them available for your movement at the start, you actually shuffle them together and only draw 2. And you have to choose between those 2. And then you draw an additional one and you choose between those 2. And so on and so forth until you've used 4 out of the 5. That's really awesome because I can't plan perfectly because I don't know what movement cards I'm going to get, so I have to adapt. And I think those 2 things, the push your luck and then the varying movement cards, make it so it keeps excitement in the game and kept me engaged as a solo player. The solo mode on this game is excellent. I play it solo quite a bit. More than I ever would have expected that I would based off of what I read. So I'm very pleased with the solo mode. So let's get down to it. What worked, what didn't work? With what didn't work, there's not a lot in this game that wasn't designed well. From the graphic design to the game design to the artwork, everything kind of just meshes together in a beautiful explosion of color and gameplay. But I would say one thing that I would improve upon, if I could, and this is a very minor criticism, the sliding scale with how you earn victory points for the end of the game. It will go up from 0 to 10 and then based off of each different, whether it be quests or goblins or spell track. Seeing how those go through, it is printed on the box. You've got it on the box side, on the bottom of the box. It's printed on the playmat, which if you have a chance to get the playmat, do it. It is worth it for this game. because the game just sprawls out from this tiny box to this massive expanse. It is truly tiny and epic. And it also has it in the rulebook. I would personally like a little card that I could reference right in front of me, make it super easy to be able to reference, okay, what's the point differential if I got one additional quest right now versus killing one additional goblin. I'd like to have that in front of me as a reference. I just found I had to kind of look around the board or look and see where the box was to find that out. And it was slightly inconvenient, especially when I was trying to make a quick decision. Minor criticism. But if I could change anything, that would probably be it. So what worked? Basically everything in this game. But I would say my favorite parts, the graphic design mixed with the artwork is just, it blows up. It's awesome. I love it. And the push your luck, being able to push your luck and staying involved on everybody else's turn, having everybody kind of get a little bit of skin in the game during everyone else's turn is really cool. Those were probably my favorite aspects of the game. And that's it. That's Tiny Epic Quest. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comment section or on my Facebook or Instagram page, Sam Says Game Reviews. If you have a game that you'd like me to review, let me know. I'd love to be able to take a look at something and give you my thoughts. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and game on.